Hello everyone and welcome to Claret and Booze. My name's Nick and this is not a daily ramble. This is a match reaction as we all just saw the referee blow might as well have been a rape whistle to signal for full time. West Ham got battered 4-1 away at Aston Villa. 4-1. And look, it didn't flatter them. It didn't flatter them at all. We had moments in the game, but I'll get into the game now. Look. Anyway, look, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and don't forget, drop a like on the video. Starting lineup comes up. I didn't even bother checking it because I knew what the starting lineup was going to be. So I only saw the starting lineup because I tuned in literally as the game was about to kick off. I knew it was going to be. Fucking Emery knew it was going to be as well. Exactly the same. No point talking about it. It's been the same for the last 5 games. Going up against a tactical manager who creates custom tactics depending on who he's playing. Let's not give him anything to think about, Moyes. Let's just throw the same fucking players out there again. Let's do that. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a really fucking good idea. So we did that anyway. We had a good 5 minutes because we know that the plan is come out the blocks, try and get a goal, and then we can try and defend it for 85 minutes. That's typically what we try and do. Didn't get the goal. Aston Villa took about, 10 minutes to get a hold of the game. And then when they did, we weren't anywhere. We weren't even involved. They was passing the ball out from the back, playing it through the middle, cutting us to pieces, creating chances. It felt like at will. Areola cut out umpteen crosses from Soufal's side because he can't block anyone defensively at all. They skipped past him at will. They was creating chances. Watkins literally scuffed a shot. It was fucking ridiculous. Just past the post. They was creating genuine chances. We had moments as well, but we were shit. We were shit. Antonio was awful in that first half. He was terrible. Everything he touched just turned to crap. James Ward-Prowse was shit. He was constantly out of position. He didn't know where he was supposed to be. Alvarez got bodied off the ball by John McGinn, who's half the size of him. This is our up for this game that we was. And what's his name? Souček. What was he doing? People are telling me he's in form. You got to play him. You can't take him out. What the fuck does he do? What does Souček do? Is he a forward? Is he a midfielder? You tell me. I ain't got a clue. He just floats around still. But what'll happen is, it's like in that game, if he'd have popped up and got a header, everyone would have been saying what a fucking good game he had. He didn't. He played the same in that game as he's played in all the others. He don't do anything. He's just a box crasher. So we started... Honestly, we should have gone in. We've been lucky as fuck this season. I've been saying we're conceding too many chances on our goal. Too many chances. And at some point, we're going to get battered. Well, we were lucky not to go in 2 or 3 down. We were. And then anyway, Villa go in, 1-0 up. Goal from... It was the goal they scored. It was a long-range effort. Areola was unsighted. He'd already stopped a couple of chances. You can't mug him off for that. And they go in 1-0 up. But then half-time, you think, right, okay, we've gone in 1-0 down. Now, we know that typically this season, we always come out sleepwalking, don't we? We do, because we know that the instruction from Moyes is, whoa, calm down. Don't let them run away with the game. We've done the same again, 1-0 down. Aston Villa have come out on fucking fire. On fire. Just pressing us high. We're just sitting there. And then a forced error. Or, sorry, an unforced error. Paqueta, because he's not a hoofer. You know, when you watch the way that they play, they knit the ball about, they're knocking it about beautifully. When we do it, it just looks cumbersome because we don't train that way. If we did, our players, it would look natural to them, but it don't look natural to us. So Paqueta's made a fuck up. He's played the ball back into a dangerous area, and Alvarez has taken the player down. Right? It is a penalty. It is a penalty. David Luiz steps up, dispatches it straight down the middle. Areola dives down the other way. Well, they're still getting on top, Villa. They're still getting on top throughout this game. And then, you know, because we kept on trying this long diagonal all the time. Because this is what everyone tries against Villa. So Moyes ain't come up with anything different. They play high. Let's just try to counter-attack and pray for a fucking set piece. Which were all shit today, by the way. I'm not saying Ward-Prowse's deliveries were shit, but we weren't bothering them. They could deal with them. They could deal with the set pieces. And we've got a goal. We've gone and got a goal. It's 2-1. Goal out of nothing. Lucky goal. Deflected goal, like the one we scored last season with 4-0s. That gives us a bit of impetus. That knocked Aston Villa off their stride because they'd been pissing that game up to that point. And then all of a sudden, there's probably a 10-minute spell where we're looking like we're getting into the game. Moyes makes an earlier substitution on 66 minutes rather than 75, brings Kudus on, and don't quite know what he was doing with him. He looked like he was going more as a centre-forward. I've said that was a bad idea from the start. He's not a centre-forward. Kept Antonio on, took Souček off. I can understand why he did it. Even though Antonio was having a shit game, I can understand why if you're taking one of those players off, you take Souček off because he's a spare part. He's a spare part. So Antonio did play his best football when Kudus came on. He went out wide on the left. He was chopping inside. He had a great shot on goal. He flashed a good cross across the goal as well. He was also getting back on the 84th minute, putting in a tackle just outside our own 18-yard box. So although Antonio had a shit game, I can understand why Moyes took Souček off rather than Antonio. Because like I've said, Souček is the player that has to come off. It's the obvious decision. But we were outplayed. We were outclassed. And then what happened? We ran out of steam. Watkins has gone down the other end. You know, he's gone through on goal. People are criticising Areola for letting the shot in at his fucking near post. They went in like a fucking rocket. Like a rocket into the roof of the net. No one is stopping that. It was a goal that was coming. Maybe that sort of swung it back in their favour a little bit, because for a period, that 10-minute period, we looked like we was growing into the game a little bit, but 3-1, game dead. Well, there's still time in the game. We're only 2 goals down. Who looks better for the last 10 minutes, 15 for the last sort of 10 minutes, 15 minutes? Is it us? Fuck is it? No, it ain't. It's them. They're on the ball. They're passing it about. We've got no urgency because we don't press. We're just letting them have the ball again. And now our hearts are fucking broken, so we're easier to pick apart. And their last goal, it was just like a training ground goal. It was. It could have been. It was 4-1. It was a good finish. It could have been 5, 6 or 7. We could not have complained on that one. We couldn't. I've said this season, we've been lucky as fuck that this hasn't happened up to this point, because Areola's been man of the match on how many occasions? How many occasions has Areola been man of the match on this? And people keep on telling me how we're brilliantly resilient. No, we're not. We're lucky as fuck this year. Teams that we're coming up against ain't had their shooting boots on. They haven't. And what really fucks me off, right? You look at that team, the 2 teams on that pitch. We are comparable across the whole pitch. Comparable. Apart from maybe at right back, Matty Cash for Soufal. Everywhere else, we're comparable with them. But you know what that game looked like for large portions? Man City playing Sheffield fucking United. Because that's the style that we play in. It's driving me mad. And I've had this debate. I had this debate on Friday where people are saying, it don't matter about the style. It don't matter about the style. Listen, the fact of the matter is, this is a results-based business. If you're getting the results, then you don't focus too much. It counteracts everything else. But there is something to be said. Everything is a results-based business. It doesn't matter what business it is. Everything is based on results. But the fact of the matter is, football is an entertainment industry. Sport is entertainment. We are not the fucking board of directors. Results-based business. It's a results-based business if you're on the board of directors. Yeah, I get it. But we're not. We're the consumers. We're the fans. We want to be entertained. Well, I'm sorry, right? We're going to have moments in these games because we've got such great players. But this style of football is shit. It's shit. Occasionally it's going to work. Occasionally it is going to work. But we are capable of so much more with this group of players. So much more. And Moyes is so stubborn. So stubborn that I guarantee you when we play Everton, it'll be the same starting lineup again. It will be. And it'll win. We'll possibly beat Everton. And then everyone will say he's made the right decision. He doesn't make any decisions. He just sticks with the same fucking thing. Over and over and over again. I don't understand it. I really don't. Paqueta looked like he was starting to get fed up in that game. We know that over the course of a season, David Moyes and the way that he sets up and the way that he plays, he starts to sap his players' energy and soul. We saw it last season. We're going to start seeing it again if we don't start playing a little bit more expansive, because we've got good footballers in this team that want to play with the ball. The only thing is it looks a little bit alien to us at times because, like I say, we clearly don't train like Villa train. Look at the way they play football. The way they knock the ball about, the patterns of play. Fuck me. And all we're reliant on is a James Ward-Prowse set piece. Well, let's hope that we haven't been figured out on that because it weren't effective today. Let's hope that that ain't the end of the James Ward-Prowse threat. Because if that is all our game is based around, then yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I know stats-wise, if you look at it, we've had shots on goal, but come on, shots on goal. That's fucking nods towards the goal that the keeper stops. There wasn't much from us. Look, I was not expecting us to lose today. I called a Desmond. I did, because when you look at these two teams on paper, there isn't much in it. There isn't. But I tell you what, there is a massive fucking gulf in the managers. Look at the philosophy that Emery is embedded in that team. Look at the philosophy. Look at the way that they play compared to us. And this is why I keep on saying I'm not really going to be that happy until we get a change. I'm not going, Moyes out. I'm not, because we'll probably win against Everton. We're probably going to have I said 10th. I reckon we'll finish 10th or just under this year. That's what's going to happen. And for us, I think that is an absolute failure, because where we are, we've spent 400 million over the last 3 years. And where we are as a club, we should be in the top 10 by default. If you finish 10th or 11th, you finish bottom of the pile that you should be competing with. We failed last year in the league. Are we going to fail this year as well? But keep fucking glossing over it with results against inferior fucking opposition. We'll beat Olympiacos on Thursday and everyone will be saying how fucking great we are. Well, Premier League's our bread and butter. I do love winning cups, but we've got to start fucking producing. And in the Premier League, and I know people are going to come back and say, oh, well, we beat Brighton, we beat Chelsea. But look, I don't know. Look, anyway, I probably shouldn't have come on and recorded straight away. That was just fucking, it just sickens me how predictable we are. We're so predictable. The only thing that weren't predictable today was a result. But looking at the game on the balance of play, they battered us. They were just much better than us. And as everyone said when I done the show on Friday night, player for player, those teams are very, very similar. And people can turn around and say, oh, well, it's the players, blame the players. No, it's not. It's the way we're set up. It's the way that the group is glued together and the way that they're told to play. That's the difference between what we saw today. It is. So look, that's it from me. That was fucking shit. That was rubbish. Rubbish. And bringing on Fornals in what minute? Did he bring him on? What? There was a fucking point in that. Bringing him on late. What, we trying to hang on to a 4-1 defeat? Fucking shameful. Honestly, it's shameful. Anyway, look, we're back later on. We're back later on for the booze up. We'll be on at 9. We'll be taking phone calls. There's going to be fucking donkeys everywhere. And guess who's still going to have a donkey? Guess who? Him. He's still going to have a fucking donkey. Because he is a fucking donkey. I'm sick of it. See you later on. Ta-da.